The theme of this very important session, of course, this is the climax of even Melonia. This is the crux of the matter. How do we then start acting to launch the One Student, One Laptop campaign, which is what we will have to do today. So now let us kickstart. Yes, we're talking about a smarter world, a smarter Anambra. Start from a smarter education system. Smart education system that's comprising the ministry and is smart. What do we know about smart, and we have smart groups. Everybody go to this concept. People make a digital transformation. Not that I will buy a one student to one laptop. Everybody highly woman here, Prof.
Well, we are talking about access to digital devices. One of the things we notice is that no matter how much training
just allow this guy questions.
If you don't have something in which you practice, you tend to forget all of those things you have done. Therefore, we're not just talking about access, we're also talking about use, good use of the device that you have. I was just reading something on Facebook. Someone was given an Android phone just last year. By this year, this young girl has already had contact with so many people in the US. In training in New York. She didn't just have access, she put good use to the device. She didn't use the device to do pornography, or to watch a widow, sharp, or to practice one form of deceit or the other, in form of those who do Yahoo. She used that to improve herself, and now she has contact, got help, and move on. So when we say one student or one teacher, one laptop, one student, one laptop, we are thinking of how we can give these people a device and how well they will put that device to good use.
Thank you so much, Prof, for this very brief rendition. And of course, I would like to crave the indulgence of every panelist. And also to inform this esteemed gathering and those joining us online, thank you so much. We are joined virtually by someone who will speak for UNICEF. She is Dr. Agatha Nzeribe, the education specialist at UNICEF. We thank you so much for your presence as well on this panel virtually. Now let us talk about operationalizing this. I'd like to come to Esudo because during the teaching on air, you observed students at home following the teachings. What was your perspective? How would you explain that interplay between what was going on in the studio and how the students were receiving it in terms of this digital devices and how they use it and how they were able to even submit assignments? Because I'm told they actually given assignments as well.
Well, first of all, I'd like to appreciate the Honorable Commissioner, Professor K. for considering Anambra Broadcasting Service, a worthy partner in the Anambra teaching on there. She approached us, and in one day, I don't think anything like that has ever been done. So please, let's appreciate everybody. And what it does say as well is the resilient spirit of Anambra. We are a can-do people. We don't look at challenges. She brought that project to us. The project manager is sitting somewhere. Steve, please wave your hand, please. Steve is here. Okay, Steve is there. Steve is the one running the live streaming. So this event is being streamed live all over the world on ABS Facebook page. So Ministry of Basic Education came to Anambra Broadcasting Service. We've never done anything like that before. We won't like taking on challenges. We're not daunted by, there were so many things that we didn't have when you came to us. But I told her, bro, we're gonna do this. I was so excited, and I remember there was one occasion she came. We were supposed to go live on radio, and we had some connection issues with our antenna, because we normally push out our signals from Anambra to Enugu, then from Enugu we push out to the rest of the world. But we had a connection problem. Prof was looking at me, I was looking at her. Prof was like, these children are waiting, they're waiting for the lesson. We need to do. I said, Prof, calm down. I called my team, I said, guys, what are we going to do? They said, okay, relax. These guys got their laptop and they were pushed the signal through IP to the internet. So what happened was we were pushing the signal from our car. Then the guys at Enugu, some makeshift technology, like how we did it in the 60s. When we were under so they picked up the signal from Enugu, and from Enugu through the internet, they pushed out the signal. The only challenge with that was delayed signal, but still the lessons went on there.
That's right.
So I think it's to show that with technology, there's nothing that we cannot do, which is why, Prof, anytime we have such projects, come to ABS.
Thank you so much, Izudo. Yeah, and now, riding on the back of that, the fact that worked well and is still ongoing. Of course, we're still talking digitalizing the Anambra State education system. I'd like to go to the national president of ASA to talk about where hesitate those young white phone the questions. As you know, one student, one laptop, and why is that so?
Well, just like Azuke said, I would like to appreciate the Honorable of Education, Professor Kate Mamano, and also Izulo himself, because they were the people that possible. When I saw the question, as you said, I believe that it's something that is already ongoing, is already in existence.
Okay.
And Anambra people already keyed into that. For instance, most schools now, on their own or through the help of philanthropists in the state, are providing these facilities to students. So it's a welcome idea. It's already in existence in Anambra State, and all we need to do is to improve on it and encourage people to pay for it. Because the essence of it is to make sure that even the poorest of all is equipped with a laptop, is in tune with the modern technology. Everything about what now is digitalized, and there is no way we can make a headway without following the situation.
Taking presidential rendezvous now, let's go to Rotterdam president to also talk about this idea. The national president of ASATU talks about the fact that it has already started. And now we're talking about personalizing this practice. My prof said, when you're alone, or practice more in hand was the other one and desktop computer in school. On where we go their practice more, when we command it as fast as. So how do we then how is this concept important for us to sell the idea that we need personalized devices, laptops for each child?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My dear Honorable Commissioner, members of the panel, the guest president, morning. When they use this Anambra State Education Digitalization and Summit to cause our hearts filled with much merit.
Nice.
First of all, we believe so long as it's coming from the Ministry of Education and Anambra State, it's already believed to be a reality. Because prior to this time, they have made a lot of other ideas never believed to have come to fruition to become a reality. Anambra State is the best ever state, and our organic commission for this education, she has done it before, and this time it will come to end again. So for us in those three, it's a very commendable one. We believe it's an idea worth following up and implementing the achieve. Take for instance, I know some schools in Anambra State, just like the National Ambassador said, they already have the ICT centers. Some of them solar power, some of them are standby. No, solar power. They have an ICT center built and donated by Chief Victor Ume. So I know the number of Anambra philanthropists is done said, and Rotary being an education-minded international organization will also do a little bit towards making this idea becoming a reality. Just like we did during the teaching on air session when the COVID was at its peak. Rotary Club of Workers Central produced 1,000 DVD copies of past recorded sessions of classes.
Wow.
And donated to the Ministry of Education.
Wonderful. Wow. I think they deserve a big round. For the academic
To make sure that the students in the hinterlands were not
left behind.
Also
right?
donated 40 rechargeable radios
Okay.
and was shared across to them so that they were able to connect with these lessons when they are going on. And most importantly, again, our teachers were not left out. We also donated some part of the NKG rights too, as an incentive to appreciate and commend their tireless efforts, because we know a number of them came from far and near. Though our home in the house later boosted that package and it went to the other number of teachers.
Dalo, anyị na-asị ndị Rotary ha jide ka ha ji, maka na asị na onye asị ya jide ka o ji na-eme ọfụma. Well, moving on now, remember we have Dr. Agatha joining us virtually, but I would like to get reactions from others here with us live on this very important part. Now, you are in the field. Mankuzi, you relate with teachers closely. In talking about this, I know that this topic was also addressed during the e-conference last year. What are the feelers you're getting? I'd like to start from Mrs. Ezedebego, please. The feelers you're getting in the field. Are our teachers understanding the idea of this? What of the students? What of the whole school? Is it now something that they want to run with?
Thank you very much, moderator. I want to start by thanking the Commissioner for Education, Professor Kate Emmanuel. I call her, or we call her, the Digital Commissioner. Please, can we give her a round of applause? Like you said, this program, Anambra State has been in the forefront of everything. I could remember a few years back, I may not be so sick, but either say 2017, the governor, Abokwedi, they rolled out 5 laptops, one laptop to 5 students. You see the margin, it was so close that we felt, especially in the private sector, we felt that it was not going to go around, the laptops. But it was able to go around the registered private secondary schools within Anambra State. So it's something that is quite commendable. We thank God for that, and we thank the state governor with the help of our honorable commissioner. Now, this has a lot of outcome, especially on the children, because you find out that the laptops were able to, remove
phobia.
Yes, something like that. Phobia for the screen. Okay. You see a lot of children that couldn't approach the laptops because there's something about laptop. When you start practicing, you get better.
That's right.
What we found out with the children, even those in the remote areas. I remember during the COVID, there's this comedy picture that went viral. They had a child in tattered, in the village without sandals and all. So the write-up with that picture was that the online classes, is it also for people like us? Meaning that with the advent of digital teaching and all that some set of people may be sidelined. But within Anambra State, everybody was captured. So all the children were moving on the same pace. I hope you're getting me. So it supplemented the use of obsolete textbooks because with the laptops, so many students started researching on their own, going online on their own, especially for us in the private sector. A lot of exams, assignment, homeworks were given online.
Okay, okay.
So it's a welcome development.
Thank you. And now, Sarah, I would like you to take it up from where she left it. What do you see if we adopt this campaign today and everyone starts running with it? Of course, we'll identify the actors, the partners, everyone who should do what. We'll get to that. But I may help us look again. Where are we headed? What do you see?
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate the Honorable Commissioner for Basic Education. I want to appreciate our governor, the ABS too, because they took up the challenge. Anambra State has been the A state in learning everything. Before the pandemic, you remember when Peter Obi was here, he gave laptops to all the secondary schools in Anambra State. I had to remove my child from Federal Government College because they didn't have much stuff. They had about 3. They came to borrow from me. By then I was at Community Secondary School in Nairobi. We had about 30. So I said, how can these students be using only 3 laptops when we have so many here? So I had to remove him in the exam class to come there and finish up. When Aboko Dike came in, the pandemic came in. Tested, but Anambra State rules knew what was happening. They had introduced the e-learning, and we are teaching students that you are thrown. Every person keyed in. I remember those days, people will always go to the ABS channel to listen to the learning stuff. So our students learned a lot, and it is a very good practice that they have their own laptops.
Okay.
And we have people that can sponsor that.
Okay.
Especially the ideas that are being propagated. I remember in my town, only this secondary school, it helped us about 650 students. They don't pay school fee. One individual pay all their school fee, pay their wire and people. So I think if this person is told about this idea, he will be willing to produce at least half for the entire students of that place.
Okay.
And there are so many benefits from having the
Before the Honorable Commissioner sets in perspective our idea of where this campaign will take Anambra State, let's hear from Dr. Agatha. Am I on to Dr. Agatha? Is she here with us? Doc, can you hear me? Okay, she's not. Please inform me once she joins us. And Prof, give us a sense of what you see, because you're the woman who sees the future. Like Abokwe his digital education drive is what you're driving on the field. But I know Abokwe say, what can I ebe Anambra State ne? The more than the man when you see na the Anambra laptop. Where are we headed?
What we have done in the Ministry of Education in the last 8 years was to interpret fully the strategic objective of His Excellency Chief Dr. William Biano as far as education is concerned. The learning needs of all must be met through equitable distribution of resources and learning of lifelong skills, and ensure we are one of the 3 top states with the lowest interest rate. That is our strategic objective. And he promised to Anambra that he was going to give them an education that is not value-based but globally competitive. For that global competitiveness to happen, we need to endow ourselves with the 21st century skills. We need to think about critical thinking, critical and analytical thinking. We need to think about collaboration. We really need to think about ICT. And I tell teachers all the time, technology may not replace teachers, but teachers who use technology will definitely replace those who do not. That's what I say all the time, and it's true. And it's very, very true. I'm happy that the governor-elect, Professor Charles Rudo, is also passionate about technology in education. He's very passionate about it. And he's going to drive this in a very aggressive manner that you will not have any chance than to get computer literate. And being computer literate means that, like the Igbo saying, or a child belongs to all. If a child belongs to all, I want to give our children education that is not just productive but exportable. Two, that's exportable. If it is exportable, what it means that it has no competitiveness, and it means that this child has to learn as well as or even better than those in other countries of the world. Therefore, I'm looking forward to a time when we will have smart classrooms in every state of the world. And what it means is that we are struggling now with technology, but I'm looking forward to a time when every child can put aside, you know what we started? I don't know whether you children have enough though. At least we started with slate or slate guiding. When I can, at the point, that is slate. It's tablet. Slate. You were talking then slate. At the point we started people abatinisi. Abati Igbo.
Prof, this story is actually something we want to listen to in detail, but of course we want to get Dr. Agatha's thoughts. She's from UNICEF, and of course you know anything can happen. The internet is sometimes not your friend. Doc, please, can you hear me loud and clear? Hello, Doc. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, a quick one. We're talking about placing one laptop in the laps of every student in Anambra. How do we do this? I mean, where should we start? What are the starting points? What are the baby steps that should be taken? And what models and structures is UNICEF advocating for this? Hello, Doc. Okay, I don't think it's loud. Okay. And once you can get audio from her end, please give me a cue, and then she can button anywhere. It's okay. Okay, Prof. It's back to you. The story. I mean, this is easy to watch.
Yeah,
we really.
Yeah, big close there. With the kind of box we used to carry, And later this training one of planning the school back back, started with all the books every fall. And we went to a time when the children will have this laptop with all the books, inside there. And you just need to point the button to take exams, to talk to people, to do every one of things that you do in education. That's what we are looking at. But that will make us smart children, very smart children. That's the one we know now. Another one might come out in the future. But as far as we are looking forward to that time. We're looking forward to when every teacher, to know that you can have an classroom. That is, you mustn't always come before the children to talk about this academic way, that that's something sometimes children can even go faster than you because they know things that you do not. Because they can research and give you contemporary views better than academic. We are looking forward to that time when the classroom will be such a one that it will not just be classroom, it's going to be interactive.
That's right.
Interactive.
As smart as possible.
Yes, as smart as possible. So that's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
I'm sure that there is We are there. That's
Yes.
what we are doing in the past.
That's right, we're on pause. Remember that this event is being streamed live on Anambra Broadcasting Service, verified Facebook handle, that's at ABS, Anambra Broadcasting Service on Facebook. You can also send your question right there in the streaming comment section, so we can read it out and any of the panelists can address the question. Those here in the hall, are you still here? Yes. Let us scream a loud hello, so I know you're still here. Hello. Very good. Please remember that you can write down your question and you can address it to a particular panelist. Only one of H or AT. Please address your questions because we want to make this as concise as possible. Now we're coming to this side of the stage, and I would like to get our thoughts. Now we are articulating this. Now, I would like for Dr. Uche Moore, Prof, like God's grace. But then there's this thing I've observed. Sometimes when somebody goes on salon, in the smart era, do you see that it's possible that somebody can teach students? Is that happening? Can that happen?
Yeah, you're talking about like virtual space.
Yes.
I think we already showed it on our response because from the studio, the same radio studio that we used to do our Igbo news and English news, we had the teachers. And it was from that studio, just a small corner like where Prof is sitting. That's where we had our banner. So from that small room, so we can also imagine that that is a basic concept of Europe and America. And once we have, because what we used to, maybe I should really understand what happened. So we didn't build English studios because Prof think it was a build it. And there was no time to do the teaching. So what we did was inside this ABS in the provide level studio, we carved out a small corner and put a teacher on their banner. Now, when the teacher is teaching, her audio goes down live on radio. So if you're in your house, you tune your radio, you're listening. Now, in front of the teacher, we had a camera like this, TV camera. Then we had the guys that were streaming live on Facebook also there. So you will think that those are in a different special studio. There was nothing like that.
Okay.
So it's okay. So
yes, no, you continue, but let's see if we can get them to also contribute. Doc, please, can you hear us? Hello, Doc. Dr. Agatha Zerbe from UNICEF. She's an education consultant, and of course, they already have these things articulated and the models and structures they are willing to share with us. Hello, Doc. I can hear her, but very faintly. Can we increase the volume? Hello? Okay, Doc. Thank you. Once we can establish a stronger connection, we'll definitely get, that's a very important contribution to what we're doing here. So please, if you have any question for UNICEF, please also write that down. Okay, Ezulu, please.
So what I'm saying is it's actually possible that you need to deal with issues of work overload.
That's
when
right.
When you go somebody home, you're busy with an update, and so you have to overload of devices like that. Then also to worry about the students that you have to know. So that's the issue.
Okay.
That's the time.
And there's another thing. I think that on this one, everybody gets to contribute. Can you find what's the data channel that we articulating once again from laptop? What are the thoughts? What are thoughts?
Well, maybe my maybe university. Yeah, in the sense that, for example, in my office, I have a laptop and I don't use the laptop. This is my laptop. My phone is my laptop, and I'm sure you know about those laptops. So even if you can't afford a laptop, and your parents are, it was cheaper to get a smartphone than to get a laptop. Laptop is fine because laptop has a bigger screen. But if you have all my letters, everything I do, because your phone, you can download PowerPoint software, you can download Word, you can download Excel, everything that you need is here. So my phone has now become my device. So it's, for me, it's like one student one lunch. So that your device could be a laptop, device could be a smartphone.
Okay. Let's put that in the box. Who want to get your one? Put that in the box. Answer to the president. But can I? Chinalu chat my name. Okay, Doc is here. Hello, Doc. I didn't hear you now. Hello. 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 Yes, Dr. Agatha Zeribe from UNICEF. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Please, can you articulate your thoughts about the campaign, one student, one laptop, and how that can happen in Anambra? Are there models and structures that UNICEF is advocating for this to happen?
Okay, if you can clearly, one student, one laptop, and that is in support of education and the digital age. And the I'm not sure I like to it's a perspective.
Okay. Doc, are you still there?
It's a huge congratulations to Anambra. You have always been our star in education. You're being very proactive. You've been thinking about providing a laptop for every student. Great idea. As you may know, UNICEF is also working in digital education to support the government, ensure that every child has access. The value to be spent for during the pandemic, countries that have done some analysis, countries that have done some analysis.
Okay, Doc, of course, apologies, Doc, for this. We're hoping that we can get her thoughts because she was going somewhere when she started, but now the audio is very poor. So I have to move on. As the president was trying to articulate, she's back. For real, please let's establish audio. Thank you. So, Elisha was leaving. Thank you. So, Elisha.
What's in this guy written now?
So please, can we knock that off so that we don't have any interference? As the president, what can we have a Selena what are the thoughts that we should have as Indian number if we must get this working? Maybe at the community level, it address any of your constituency. I think that was this.
Well, it's very simple. Just like every other person here expressed their thoughts about it. The PGs in the communities, you can say, are the governors of the community. They can easily mobilize their people, the rich people in their communities, to provide all these devices or laptop phone, just like Dr. Butemora said, Apart from laptop, you can confidently make use of your phone, a smartphone, to still get all that you need. The villages on their own can mobilize the rich in the community to provide all these things to the people. The essence of it, as I said, is to make sure that every child in our community has a platform or a device that can, access, that can enable him or her access the internet.
Okay, the idea is to be connected to the world.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we have comments already on ABS live streaming. Only them with your question. People, organizers, can I have some of the questions sent off so that we can crush them as we start winding down? Now let's get to Rotarian President. Also, you talked about what has been done Rotary-wise. Now tell us what organizations, NGOs, not just Rotary, and I feel like this should be, everybody should be involved, or when did they need to tell us?
Well, it's something that requires everyone's involvement. There's no doubt the fact that for every new idea, of every new idea, there are many challenges, there are bottlenecks. And one of such was discussed yesterday, internet connectivity, access to constant connectivity, power, the internet devices, the laptop, phones, and the rest. And I want you to believe me that why I'm very much convinced that this idea must surely see the light of day, because we have the best brains in the think tank of this generation field. Because I believe they've taken time to brainstorm on the possible challenges, and yesterday they were extensively explained. So for us in Rotary, we believe it requires the involvement of everyone. Part of this we do this is the use of our capacity is that for every year we have a new leadership program. For instance, my own year in my club, we want to make sure that before the end of our leadership, that we'll be able to at least do our little bit. To renewable energy practice.
Okay.
And as a way of solving the power problem, at least one big one of the technical colleges in Anambra State and have the library powered 2 kVA solar.
Wow. That's a big one. That's a big one. I'm very commendable.
And again, we also have to reach out to businesses, to corporations. There are certain amount of annual funds called Youth for Corporate Social Responsibility.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to them, encourage them to shape part of these funds towards making this idea a reality. Rotary is one organization that is known for forthrightness and putting in their own funds, time, talent, and treasure towards making brilliant ideas that become a reality. So we don't have difficulties when we meet such organizations. They believe us, they've seen the antecedent of things we've done in the past, and hopefully we are very much convinced they will also play their key role. We move an inch closer towards making this idea develop.
Condensing what you just said, I picked two things. That we can actually do something about providing some of these things are not in place. And moving beyond that, sensitization. And it mustn't be just ABS spreading the message of the ministry at different levels, grassroots. That if you meet someone, you tell someone. Now remember, one student, one laptop, now only a laptop. And I don't think, is this just for the rich? Please, I want to know. Also, something when they go, because actually, you talked about someone that provided that paid fees for a lot of all the students. Also,
Like the PG has every community, every PG, not the people they will approach for certain projects.
Okay.
So I think that is the best idea.
Okay, so you think that this is capital intensive?
Very capital intensive.
For real? Okay. So we actually need a lot of money.
A lot of money. But there are still people that ask that money. Like I go through others, I don't know where it is, whatever. Or there's this others I was going through, all the roads. I started to wonder how what way they could be going and they still working so hard. I had to stop and ask them, how did they get the attention of the government? They said it's not the government. That is an individual, I've forgotten the name. Any road, just tell any road in my community outline, and that is what is doing now. So we have rich people in the communities that can adopt the schools in their community. Then when the schools are exhausted, they can then extend to the neighboring towns.
Okay, as a debate, you have to speak in regards to people who are able to place their children in private schools. Of course, it means that they are looking for something. Can parents actually do this for their children without waiting for the government or the individuals to do it?
The truth is that we have private schools, we have categories of private schools. And when I say we have categories of private schools, there are high profile and there are low profiles. Now, the same goes for the parents in those schools. So there are parents who can comfortably provide the laptops for their kids, for their children. But there are also parents in the private schools, the low profile private schools that cannot.
Okay.
So for these type of parents, they need assistance.
Okay, but I'm not making way go up and back. So how do we need to drive the idea that your child needs a laptop and can provide it? So please do the needful. What are the actionable points for owners of schools, teachers, and the likes?
You said it's creating awareness.
Okay.
Sensitization is key. When you begin to talk to the parents about the importance, because I have these parents that said he didn't attend school for one day, but he would want his children to also to do better. So we have such parents. They want to know the new things, the innovations in education. Once they know about it, they go all out to support. So creating awareness is very, very important. And we have avenues through which we do such, create such awareness through the parents teachers forum and all of that.
Okay, so should we utilize those channels? And this way, you wanted to try.
Just to in support of what one panelist has said, there's a specific example I want to cite. The Honorable Commissioner for Education, Professor Anambra, is aware of this. A company that operates outside the university. What they've done is they've adopted two schools, one secondary school, that's Capital City Secondary School and then also the Capital City Primary School. So I think it's a good model that I think going forward the ministry should propagate. And what have they done in those schools? They've done new football fields for them. They've done a multi-purpose ICT center with digital library, equipped with computers and all that. And now there's a process that the Ministry of Basic Education is helping them to achieve. They want to recruit 20 teachers. That process is on option. They recruit 20 teachers and they are undertaking to pay those 20 teachers for the next 5 years. And they're going to pay them at above government teacher rate. And when we look at the application, I think over 10,000 applications are coming. So that's a good model to support what the government is doing. And we can also push that model forward so that people can now also buy devices, laptops, and all that for students.
That is good. Now on to ABS Facebook page where we have just a few comments, and I'm hoping to get 1 or 2 questions as well so we can address them before we leave the stage. This is from Daniel Oluwayose, and he says, it's such an awesome thing to have witnessed this development of education. And he's asking a question. He says, students are very funny in their attitude and flexible to the misuse of resources. What are the measures in place to actually not let the beauty of the project be lost in the process? And how will students be curbed from be stopped, I think, from diverting the usefulness of the laptop? Thank you. We also have Patience Ngozi ABC. And she says she's from OMGS Adasiani. Thank you so much. I'm just taking all of this so that we can go into the answer. Public okay says Rotary Club should be commended for the humanitarian work they are doing. Rotary Club should take the lead in this one student, one laptop, especially the underserved members of the community. Communities should be mobilized to cater for the vulnerable members, while parents who can should provide for their children. Most importantly, teachers should be ready to face the challenges. Yes, as in all So these are the things. How do we curb misuse? And then who are the actors? We can keep identifying them. So anybody who wants to address this misuse thing can speak. The mic can move to anyone while we also anticipate questions. And how do we stop? Okay, Doc is back. Hello, Doc. Doc, are you here? Can you hear me loud and clear? Okay. We'll start addressing the questions. Yes. Anybody who wants to, the idea, name the laptop, or Abazi for Westeraper, or using the phone for uses that are not what it's meant for. It's supposed to be a tool for social interaction, as it were.
Presently, I believe there are tablets, educational tablets that students use, and the way they are modeled, they place restrictions on those devices for the children. So I believe for this project, there should be something like that. You know, the laptops we are talking about should be produced in such a way that the children will be monitored, something like that, restricted. You know, they shouldn't be allowed. In fact, certain apps should not find its way into those laptops because there are tablets presently in the market that have such restrictions. So if we also adopt this, it will go a long way in helping.
Okay, so I'm told that Dr. Agatha will really want to hear the UNICEF perspective in this very important discussion. Dr. Agatha, are you here with us? Can you hear me loud and clear? Hello, Dr. Agatha. Okay, while we wait for Dr. John, please. Please go ahead.
How to get the
Yes,
old back?
doesn't succeed in journals. There was something we started with them, which I hope they can actually try pull through in those days. Long ago, 2015 actually, we had an agreement with them to have a kind of education trust fund. But the challenge was how will people have a buy-in and donating money to government and then not having that the funds abused or the funds misused. So they came up with this strategy that they would drive the process. They will use UNICEF as a credible organization that will drive the process for us. We started working not all the names of the big shots.
No, just the phone itself.
And sent to them. I don't know what happened. They never got that to us. But one of the things I know is that, for example, if UNICEF is to drive anything, they have to look at so many things. The person, who is the person bringing the money?
Where's the camera?
Is the person
No, not this side. The camera.
Yeah. The person, what is source of fund? The person that drop like they will look for every manner of thing. They don't just take money from anybody. So I don't know what happened, whether all the people we give them didn't fit it.
But then it's not fair. Can you?
So if they can drive this in their own way too.
Is it supported in
Be the challenge.
You aren't supporting it.
If you can get some of this things. Now, let me quickly say that Chief Let's CBH has given us 80,
but we have to remove the phone.
80 Android phones. He gave us 80 Android phones, which we are going to give out to some students, but we're going to give out to some students on the day we are celebrating the 30th. And let me quickly say that the whole thing is about curriculum reform too. Like you said, all of them. It's not just for the students, it's for the teachers too. The teachers many of us are digital migrants, and not digital natives. Some of them are even afraid to do these things, but I know that we've gone beyond that in Anambra State. I know we have teachers who have become transformational leaders who are actually willing to learn. And I just want to say that there is no end to learning. There is no end. If there is anyone, for example, I'm not even very good at Excel, but I'm now I've employed somebody because I want to perfect Excel. Excel has so many angles. So I'm paying somebody to teach me Excel so I can master it very, very well. What you have to do yourself, open to learn. You have to know that we are all learners. Every day we learn something. If you are set in your own ways, you are going to make improvements. So if you don't know something, but you want to know, please do not hesitate. Now that we started in our schools, 69 schools, and now doing artificial intelligence and robotics. Teachers, do not leave it just to those people, our private partners that are doing that. Go and get interested. Go and get interested. And that way, all these things will be saying, if you have one laptop, you can make the effective use of it.
That's right, and that's coming from the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Basic Education, Anambra State, Professor Kate Omenola, sending a word to everyone, all the actors who should be part of this for us to progress. Now, Mr. Jogita Arazu from All Nigeria Confederation of Principals and Secondary Schools, can you send a message to those in the association and a general message on why this campaign should be adopted? And of course, for the future of Anambra, you can send this message. Your members are watching. Imagine order to them on what they can do to join this campaign. Okay.
So, students, every person, the students, the teachers, they need a laptop or a smartphone in order to operate. So it is very, very important that they are doing that. I think they are trying to get one, except the students that you are finding ways to give them laptops, and we've said that the communities can do more.
Okay.
Then you ask questions about diverting. If they eventually get a laptop or a smartphone, what do we do to make sure they don't divert to other apps and view inappropriate content? I think each smartphone and laptop has a setting. Before you give it to them, you go to the setting, there's a section on digital well-being and parental control. You go there and key whatever.
When they change it?
It depends. If you allow them to get a password, they change it.
Okay. Okay, I think that even at the point of buying, that the parents can even interface with those who sell. Possibly. Because for digital natives, you never can tell what they can be up to.
This is why we have to be vigilant always.
That's
sometimes you can monitor what they are doing with their phones and their laptops.
The chairperson, Anambra State chapter of the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, NAPS, Mrs. Ezedebe, will tell us the marching order to your members on what they can do to support this state government initiative.
Like I said initially, we have to go all out to sensitize our parents and also our teachers. Our teachers has to, they have to be compliant with this program. There are no two ways about it. You don't have to start looking now, work on what you have, work with what you have, and you see the program being achieved in our different schools.
Okay, the microphone is coming back to this side, and of course, yes, these are our, not our last words, but of course, of this session. Yeah.
Well, I think I have a different view. I may be a bit controversial, but parents, please forgive me. I'm a parent as well. If you notice, the digital divide is growing wider between our children in Africa, in Nigeria, and the children who have living abroad. Why am I saying this? My children live in the UK. So I noticed that the policies we adopt in Nigeria, where in some schools you don't allow children to come into the school with your smartphones. I have a problem with that policy because this is the world now. We are restricting them, whereas people in those societies are encouraging them. They have access to internet and they use all of these devices. And we expect children will have in Anambra, in Nigeria, in Africa to compete, just like Professor Anambra said. So we may need to retain that policy. For me, rather than pursuing the policy of restriction, banning, but I think Prof mentioned again that some teachers still have a problem. They are not digital natives. Why don't we focus on responsible use? Okay, let the children be taught to be more responsible because we can't keep fighting and telling them to stay away from this. Why do we assume that every time they use a smartphone they are pornography babies? It's all part of learning. I'm not saying. So I said my opinion controversially, that's my opinion.
Okay, she wants to respond, but, okay.
Sorry. I quite agree with you. The issue of giving out a cell phone or laptop or these devices is one thing, and restriction is another thing. We must not keep on trying to restrict. Why teaching the people or the students on how to use the device? We may also develop that attitude of also instilling in them on how best to make use of that device.
More like something
Yes.
that the student himself.
Yes.
Makes you.
They are in everything manufactured by human being, any God or this God created. We always encounter problem. If you marry a car today, you are bound to maintain it. You cannot say, oh, because out down the road, you will now not make use of your car. It's a matter of educating yourself. In this particular situation, the parents, the teachers, all of us, we all have a very big duty, a role to play in this particular situation. So the issue of if you buy a phone now, go to the setting, give it to your child, 4 years, he will diffuse it. At least I can narrate the experience. My phone, I usually lock it. My son, about 5 years, unlock the phone. I asked the son, how you're still in? I'll just do the phone here, your hands, the way you touch it. I checked the next day you open it. It's a matter of teaching them, letting them know the very essence of that thing, not to always go on the side of negativity. Once they use it, this will happen. Encourage them, yes, it's good, but there are also a bad aspect, and we must regulate it.
Okay,
Yes,
we
thank you very
have
much.
wants to comment on this side, but this idea of regulating use is also taking us to this. Is it possible for us to include a component in computer education where we actually talk about use or ethics, something like that in computer education as part of the component of what we teach in the school, so that even when you're using the phone, these are the things you should know. And the teacher is teaching that as well. Those are talking points just got to my head and I decided to share. We have a contributor. So please would like to get your contribution as we go ahead. Please tell us your name.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, panelists.
Good afternoon.
My name is Meg Moore. I represent Dell.
Dell, okay.
Dell EMC Corporation. The Honorable Commissioner, it's good to see you. It's good to be here. I commend you and the state for this initiative. This is not my first time in Anambra State. I've been in Anambra State doing bit of this administration. So this initiative also was what was on during this time. So he bought a lot of laptops to contribute to the restriction. We want our kids to play with the international people, their counterparts in the Western world. So at the point of ordering the system, we're not restricting them. So Google or Microsoft will only give them, we will manufacture the system to ensure that they only have access to educational websites from that point. So we are also having access to whatever global education website that exists so that they can compete very well with their counterparts in the Western world. So that's what we've done. If you do settings, my brother, those kids are more, those kids are very well, more educated than we are when it comes to technology. We check the settings of
That's right.
every other thing. So it will be done from the factory where you cannot change it. It is for education purposes. So the OEMs all know that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just ask this question. Please, can you? Okay, thank you. I'll ask the questions. We were able to address them fine. I want students one laptop, but not enough ICT teachers to teach on how to handle the computers in our schools. What are we going to do in order to solve? And we also have this one on ABS Facebook page from Negezani. My school is not doing robotics, they're not offering robotics. How do we keep to that? And I already responded to that question to say, which school? That's what I asked. So I hope that she's watching. If she didn't see the comment, she'll also let us know what school that is. So, yes, let's go ahead.
Not having enough teachers for
ICT.
Okay, answer to step up has been an ongoing annual training in Anambra State. I guess I'm right. There's always this annual training for ICT, computer based or something. One training like that. So the only thing we need to do is to step up on the training, create again more awareness, or even enforce it in some schools, to release teachers to attend such programs. We can't be talking about schools not having ICT teachers at this point in time, of our existence. It is not done, and it shouldn't be heard.
Yeah, finally, as I invite the rapporteur to come and wrap up, I'd like to take on the Honorable Commissioner on this one. This summit on digitalizing Anambra State education system is being hosted by your ministry, the Ministry of Basic Education, in partnership with IDK and of course Innovative Africa. Your partners are all about ICT education. Now, what does that say about the commitment of the Anambra State government to drive this objective and this campaign? Beyond this administration. Hello.
So when I was saying initially, I said that our excitement GD, the government-elect, is somebody that has passion for education, is somebody that has produced, he's a renowned scholar and he's passionate about technology in education. What we are simply doing is to lay the bed, for this next administration to leapfrog into the future. That's basically what we are doing. This is the green light of the administration of Dr. Olabiano. And a lot of people were asking, why are we doing this at this point? I mean, why are this really being But we are driving through. The government is about also guaranteed both assets and liability. And what we are doing now is you just said to the incoming administration, because I'm hoping that all the rapporteurs and everybody here will do together a kind of blueprint of what we've done in technology and education in Anambra State, the curriculum reform we have done, By the way, the 69 schools are pilot schools we started. So the way that ask the question may not be one of the pilot schools. So the next administration can have more, can have more smart classrooms, can have more of this thing enlarged. So this is an opportunity for us to actually put together something with which we call the technology education that the incoming administration will manage. Thank you.
Coming from Professor Kate Omenola, the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Basic Education, Anambra State. Thank you so much, Honorable Commissioner, for your insightful contributions. And of course, you engaged us and you let us know that the future is bright. Thank you so much. Can we give the Commissioner a rousing round of applause? Appreciate in a special way the chairperson of Nigerian Confederation of Principals of Secondary Schools, Anambra State Branch, Mr. Digitalization. Thank you. Thank you for being on this panel. Appreciate you. Please keep the rounds coming. As well, the chairperson, National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, NAPS, Anambra State, Mrs. Amaka Ezenebego. Thank you. Great contributions we got from you. And we also would like to say thank you to the Rotary President of Oka Central, Veteran Iru Kakonyekachi Michael. We appreciate you and keep doing the great job. I have forward to Chief Dr. Uche Mora, Esudo Global, MD CEO, Anambra State, Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS. Thank you so much, Esudo, for your great contributions. As well, National President of ASCA to Anambra State Association of Town Unions, Barrister T.N. Akudo. Thank you so much, Barrister, for your contributions. And then we also want to appreciate everyone who joined us live online. This is not the last. We still have a session coming, and it's going to be more insightful, I assure you. I want to appreciate those who are present in the halls. You are the best. Give yourselves a big round. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we collectively take Anambra State education to greater heights. Enjoy the rest of the summit. Keep the rounds coming. Applause for yourselves. My name is C.P. Arono. Thank you. Picture sessions continue. Please, when you're seated, you can take a selfie. Take a selfie. Take a picture of those on stage, post on your social media, and say that you attended ASCED 2022. Because this is all about digital things. So let us go all digital on this summit. Thank you. I hope to see your pictures on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere. Let's make this summit go viral. Have you taken your selfie? Yes. Okay, I'm coming to join you. Don't worry, I'll be down in a short while. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to guide you on how to post your picture on social media. Yes, even as we get set for the next session on digital devices, that is when we'll dissect how to even get these digital devices activated and what we need to do about applying digital devices technology to education. Tech in Education. That's the next summit session that is up. But for now, if you're taking your picture, wherever you want to place it, please write, I am right here. You know anything you want to write? Okay. Anything you want to write, just freestyle. It's your phone, it's your digital device, so you decide what to write. But then there's this hashtag that we would like you to include while posting so that anybody from across the world who is interested in Ansets 2022 can view your picture. So I'm going to tell you the hashtag to use. Go to your notepad so you write it down there. That way you won't lose it. Just do hashtag, hashtag. A, that's capital A, N, S, E, D, S, 2022. That's hashtag Answers 2022. Hashtag ANSEDS 22. Another hashtag you can use is hashtag Anambra. Hashtag digital Anambra. Hashtag digital education. Hashtag UNESCO. Hashtag UNICEF. You can just mention as many global organizations that you can think of. You can even do hashtag road trip. All the partners. Hashtag ASATRI. Hashtag teachers. Hashtag proprietors. Hashtag principals of Nigerian schools. So that all of these people can view your picture and know that something happened in Anambra State this weekend. And that way they can ask questions and key in to be part of what we have set in motion on this summit. Okay, so I'm going to look up some of your pictures, and possibly, who knows, some of us might even get end time because we posted our pictures on social media. Who knows? It's possible. Yeah, so that is also a possibility. So have a small interlude just for you to get your pictures on social media. Yeah. So just a small get your pictures on social media. Then if you still have
Hello, everybody. Sorry for that little break. Let's make everybody relax. Now we'll go to the last segment of this very outing today. Please, while you're seated, our airtimes will be projected, so you can take your time to have the cell phones recharge any of the network that you see projected on the screen. So coming up next for us will be the segment of digital devices. We have some very way represented here. We have Dell represented here. We have Charles Technologies represented here. We have HP that will be joining us online, all represented here today. Please a round of applause for them before I go on. Please, we can do better or first of all, I want to appreciate everyone who was for patience because today, yesterday, today you're still here. It's for the good of the Anambra. So first I want to call up Mr. Magnus, representing Costaris to please come up the stage. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes up. Please clap in the Following him will be Mr. Imam, representing Dell PLC. Please join us on stage, sir. A round of applause for him as he comes up the stage. Please keep clapping like in Ghana, and to be handling this very segment, I will invite Mrs. Mildred Mark Ochubu to do justice to every of the segment. Please, a round of applause for her. We can do like in Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, the organizers of this program. Thank you, everyone here, for patiently waiting and staying till this time. Thank you also, our panelists, Mr. Magnus representing Costaris, Mr. Emel Moore representing the LBNC, and Dr. Larry representing HP. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for the last segment. I won't take our time, I'll go straight to the point. The topic for this segment is accessible and affordable digital devices. Accessible and affordable digital devices. We're going to talk about how we can access, and if these devices that we want to get into our educational system, if they are affordable, if they are for both the high class, low class, middle class, if everyone can afford them. That's what we're going to be talking about in this segment. But then it is often said that if the use of a thing is unknown, abuse is inevitable. So I'll ask this first question. What's the use of digital devices for those that do not yet know? Mr. Magnus, would you like to say?
Not everyone. Okay, currently I'm doing some
use of digital devices. The trend in the world now has gone digital. So the need for digital devices in our educations is there inevitable. So in academics, basic education, there's need for digital devices where the student and the teachers can actually interact through digital classroom or collaborative classroom and that of hybrid learning, whereby the student can actually interact with the teacher through their personal computers, known as laptop. In this case, for people like you, for students like you, what you need is a mini laptop or notebook. So, okay, we as the students can actually interact with teachers through that through the device, which is another device we everybody consider is that of IDEO. It's also known as interactive board, which can actually display the work of the individual students to be able to display on the board so that the teacher can actually answer the questions of the student, and students in return can actually contribute their own ideas. So that is why the need for digital learning is inevitable.
Mr. Imo, would you like to introduce?
Yes, thank you very much. Digital devices basically laptops. You have laptops. You do also have tabs. Even your phone and digital devices. And the essence of the digital devices basically is to help you with connectivity, to get into internet. And that's what you need to use to, for the students, to go to educational websites, for instance, Ubuntu or Microsoft website to download educational stuff. So the devices are basically things, computer, it could be a mini computer, it could be, what did I call it initially? It could be Android system or phone or tab. And that's what the devices are basically for. Those are the different devices you have. When it comes to laptop, there are different laptops. You ask the question, can we afford? There are categorization of laptops. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moore. Okay, is Dr. Larry online? Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome, Dr. Larry.
Yes, thank you.
Given the countless numbers of digital devices that are produced and marketed almost every day, what uniqueness does your device, your product bring? What uniqueness does it offer today, both students and teachers? Why should we go for yours? Why shouldn't we just buy any other random device in the market? Why should we buy yours? Dr. Larry, would you like to start?
Okay, thank you so much for having me. I rest on existing protocols, and it's a pity that I'm not able to attend physically, but at least we have technology to lead attendance and I will be able
We can hear you.
Okay. So what differentiates HP products from many other products is because these HP products are done from a need perspective. So we've got different devices for different segments of the society. The devices used for education are different. As a matter of fact, the devices recommended for primary and secondary schools are different from the devices recommended for university students. That's because we know at the back of our mind that for primary and secondary school students, those devices by far more often than these for university. Okay, so there are things around security, there are things around sturdiness, there are things around the stress test that those devices have been put through. One of the things we also do is to ensure that these devices are made for each region. So for instance, the devices made for Nigeria have been made bearing in mind that PNCF will take climate. bearing in mind that during that period there will be loads of dust. Okay, so the devices for substitution are probably stronger than the devices made for other parts of the world. So the core that we took and that makes us separate from many other manufacturing manufacturers is that we do this from a needs perspective. So we are asking what you want, and we're also using our experience and knowledge what you want to give you what you have asked. Thank you.
So, Mr.
Okay, thank you for that question. The question again was these devices.
What's your name? What's
okay,
the
uniqueness,
device?
okay. So basically, I like to be very open. What they call original equipment manufacturers. So original equipment manufacturers mean companies who manufacture laptops, desktops. So they are world leaders in those industries. You will mention Dell, you will mention Lenovo, you will mention HP. And the good thing to know about all the OEMs is that they cut across, their quality cuts across all the platforms. Dell specifically has a program for the students. They have a program for the students, they have a laptop for the students. For K-12, whether pupils in the nursery school or elementary school, or students in the secondary school or higher institution. So there are different categorization of different products meant for each divide of the school, whether it's elementary school or nursery school, whether it's secondary school. And besides that, there's quality around it, there's organization. Because Dell knows that these systems in the hands of the children and the students will fall at rapid times or occasionally. So they use quality products to manufacture them so that when they fall, the incident of having a crash screen or whatever is very much reduced. So this cuts across all industry. Dell in particular has that program. There's what they call ruggedized system, which you can Google and see that it is Dell and Toshiba that plays in this space. Thank you.
Earlier on, you said something about creating settings in which your devices that aid children just to study and not do anything about studying with them. Can you show more light?
Okay, yeah. There was a question earlier on in the previous session that talked about how well you can secure the system and just to enable that students don't go to websites or to sites that they are not originally allowed to do. So at the point of where the selection of the laptop is done, the device is done for the student, at the point of manufacture. So we can go to Microsoft and tell Microsoft this operating system is for an education system or education environment. Please put these things in order. Or if they're using Google, of course there will be Google. We also go to Google to say, censor students from going to any other website. Let it be educational website across the globe so that they can also benefit from websites or educative application or books or subjects that the international students are also enjoying. So give them at the same level with people outside the region.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Magnus, what would you?
Okay, thank you for that question. Not like the two speakers he said, there's a relationship between OEM and that of distributors. In this case, for Charlie Technology fall under distributors. And among all the lines of our products, there's a particular line of products that we carry that we take is we can meet the demands in terms of edu content for those in academic field, which is basic. So in that case, ASUS, there's a product we call ASUS. ASUS has a very good design, basically for students. we call it E-series, E210, is a mini laptop of 11.6 inch. The new design of that laptop that just came 2020 basically narrowed down to educational content, whereby even on the keyboard, you will see that they separated the alpha for the numeric, whereby there is a number pad and a back light that can actually display the screen in case if the students want to work on a laptop in their various houses. So that is a product that meets up the demand for academic or for students of the level we are actually to focus on, which is the basic education. Now, adding to that as well, ASUS has actually the laptop is very sleek in nature, whereby they have actually look at it that students they need something that's very light that will actually be portable, so that oftentimes will not be falling from them and they got broken. So they decided to do something very sleek and they reduce the size of the laptops to be able to achieve that very aim of making it portable for students. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Magnus. Now to the question of the day. You sold your markets. Can we buy these markets? Are they affordable? Are they just for the high class? We have classifications. Are they just for the high class? Are they for the middle class? Can everybody afford these devices? Dr. Larry, let's begin with you. Can you hear us? Dr. Larry.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. So thank you for having us in the speak on behalf of HE. And I'll just tell you a short story. So for us, the education sector is very, very dear to us, and we look at it differently. So what we've done over time is go to our partners and that we tell about them together figure what we want to do for education is that we want to make sure that laptops, desktops, and other devices that are for education come at a very, very cheap rate. So for us, business in the education sector is based on business during that COVID, we're going to start one of the things that we recognize Africa and recognize Africa and US in terms of education. One of the things that was spent millions of dollars to give learning management systems to schools. So we call all universities, all secondary schools across Nigeria, across other parts of Africa, and in the Middle East, and we say, so that students can go back to school, because at some point in time, there's over 300 million students that not having any means to go back to school. So that so many can go back to school. Take these learning management systems, just use them to be able to teach students. What we found out was that so very many teachers did not even know how to use the learning management system. So we had to back on the project and started a program called HDI, where they are training teachers free of charge. So teachers are being trained on the use of technology. That's how much into education. So the cost of education by education are there's so many programs that we're doing now to ensure that people are being platforms for education devices. One of those programs actually that we actually buy. So we have something called financing, and we give money to schools and ministries of education so that you can finance this level and pay over 36 months. So at the end of the day, I might not be paying 5,000 or 6,000, which something less than that. Yeah, that's some of the things that we've done concerning education. I can go on and on and on and on and on. But for us, like I said, education is special. Is different, and for devices that have to do that. how people start going. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Latin. So what you're saying is they can pay installments. Wow, wow, wow. Did we hear that? Are we still here? So, Mr.
Thank you for that question. Like I said earlier, there are different classifications or different categories of products that are available. So you have the enterprise products, the laptop. You also have the consumer products. You also have products for the students in the nursery school or in the secondary school. So those products are priced separately. If you remember earlier on, I mentioned since it's the educational environment, we would involve Microsoft, we would involve Intel. Intel is a manufacturer of processors. So all OEMs, Dell, Toshiba, HP buys from Intel. So Intel is aware of the Anambra State program already because we have involved them from the word go since last year, so they are fully aware of it. Microsoft is fully aware of it. The professor was there. The professor had to write a letter to us to say, Dell, this system that we're looking for is for education environment. What does that mean? What it means is that Intel would reduce the price drastically for the processor they manufacture. Microsoft will come and give you the operating system and productivity tool at $20 or thereabout at a very ridiculous price because it's an educational environment. So given that Intel is brought to the table, Microsoft is brought to the table, Dell is brought to the table, that drives the price drastically down. Going back, because we've had conversation going on with Anambra State since last year on the program for the teachers, which is slightly different from students. So basically, there are laptops that are Dell manufacturers for basically students. Those products are relatively priced and cheap. Going back to how you can finance it, I wouldn't want to. I will tell you, going to the big OEMs to ask for financing, it's a huge thing because they will tell you, yes, we will bring this onto the table, we'll bring that onto the table. Let's use our local financial institutions to price it. At the end of the day, you spread whether it's dependent on what you agree with the banks. Do you want 18 months? Do you want 24 months? Do you want 36 months? The financial institution, coupled with the budget you have, should be able to advise this is what it is that you will get. And then you can pay on monthly basis for as low as 3,000 up to 5,000 naira till you liquidate the assets. So that's what it is. So buying laptops for students is not a big issue. So we will get the bank involved. In this case, we are involved Fidelity Bank because Anambra State in short owns Fidelity Bank. So we bring Fidelity Bank, we brought them last year, we sat down with the state government, they negotiated and all that. So from a financing point of view, we would link the state with the bank already. The state owns the bank, so they can agree on a particular term and make the laptops available for the students. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Umo. That way, everybody can afford it. Everybody can buy it. Even, now, we have pocket money. Students, are we here? Those small 100 naira, 200, start saving up. So you can start paying for your laptop. Don't depend on mommy and daddy. Are we here? Yes. So, Mr. Magnus.
Thank you. Well, not like the two speakers actually said, there's no laptop or PC that ever been produced in isolation. Most of them run with the softwares and equally that of the processor, which is Intel. So all these comes together with the motherboard makes the laptop and laptop battery. So in that, ASUS as an OEM, ASUS produce the best motherboard in the world. If I may say that. ASUS motherboard is very good motherboard, and they produce the best. And then one is that being that they are the producers of the motherboard, definitely the price is relatively affordable. Just like you said. What we said earlier, there are different PC for those of students and that of professionals. For that of students, are well priced. So we are aware of that for students. Then in terms of financing, we have run a scheme like that for a couple of schools, that of Covenant University in Lagos. So we run a scheme like that as well. And this for Anambra State Edu content will not be an exception. In that, the chairman of Koshari's group is actually son of Anambra State. So there is always a way around it. Once there's actually an understanding between the two, entities. So, thank you.
Okay, before you run your presentation and we wrap up final questions, please, if you have questions in the audience, you can send them forward. Write your questions down and send them forward. I heard most of you have presentations to. Mr. Magnus, are you ready with your presentation? Dr. Larry?
Yes, I have. Okay, I have. I see.
Is you ready? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay, so let's quickly run. Just 5. Okay. So you're given 3 minutes for your presentation.
Okay, go through. This is all about the doctrine aspect. So we all hear from Father. We are into distribution of ICT, equipment across Africa. That's what we do. We distribute ICT equipment. Not like we mentioned on the board, digital devices. You can see computer desktops. This can actually be found in the digital lab or the library. Which is the focus of the students. We have what we call ID Hub. That is an interactive board. Then the mobile phones and all the rest. Good. I would like to, since you have talked more on personal laptops, these are ASUS laptops. See, over on there, if you look there, you can see that tab there, enter key. The new design is in yellow so that at a glance, the student will see that and be able to enter the key at the top. You can see the notepad there. That is where they separate the numeric and that of the alpha. So that is the new design for ASUS. Go down. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is another device that actually capture everything about educational content. We call it ID Hub. So can I call it interactive board or whiteboard? For teachers to actually be in the classroom and impart the knowledge to students, they need something like that. Like I can show you on the projector. This is the example of what the ID Hub is. You will see the classroom settings where the student will sit while facing the screen and alongside with their personal laptops. This is what made the learning highly interactive. Go ahead, go on. Okay, this one, we call this one digital class, whereby you as a student have your personal laptop. The teacher will actually be teaching you while you communicate with the teacher with your PC. If you have a question or assignment you have already done, you send it to the screen through cloud or through internet connectivity to be able to view on the screen for every of your class members to be able to actually share ideas with it. So there's another one again we call collaborative, where 2 or more students come in a class to be able to solve difficult questions that are more problematic. You know, there are some questions that as a student you might not be able to have approach to it, but in that is where the idea to actually approve solution will be done. So that is what we mean by the idea of. So this is one of the devices we think that if the state government could actually look at it, can actually help to improve the learning of the, we need to achieve the best when it comes to meeting the world standard in digital learning. So you don't just give students laptops to study on their own. How are they imparting that knowledge? That is where the idea of comes in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mathis. Thank you. I'm going to be asking the final question before we bring in Dr. Larry. Are there special ways to help schools and states in procurement devices, after sales services and maintenance agreements when purchased in bulk? Are there special ways to help states and procure these devices? Did you get my question?
Is it meant for me?
Yes.
All right. The special obviously the student will fall under the umbrella of the Ministry of Education, Basic Education. Am I correct? Okay. So if they fall under that umbrella, Ministry of Education will engage Dell, and Dell will now based on the need assessment and requirements of the student. Dell together with Ministry of Education will profile the best product for the students, whether in the nursery school, whether in the secondary school, or in the tertiary institution. Together with the appropriate ministry, we will do that and get the system available. Most importantly, like I discussed with the Honorable Commissioner last year when we engaged that, the most important thing to do is not just about buying and giving the students laptop. It's about the after-sales service. And there's a whole lot of return on investment when you put a service center in place. We have told her that Dell will establish, depending on the number of systems that the state buys, we will establish a service center. So there's a whole lot of investment, return on investment on that. What does that mean? It means employment opportunities for the students. It means wealth creation because people will be employed, they will learn how to fix the computer. Some will decide, I don't want to work for Dell, I don't want to work for the support center. I want to establish my own support center so I can fix laptops myself. So that's wealth creation. Of course, education as well. It teaches whoever works in the service center will know how to fix. And then, of course, they are open to employment in multinational companies like Dell, Toshiba, HP, and other other desktop or notebook manufacturers. So that's one of the benefits and value we bring into the table. We don't want to come and sell and go, but we want to add to the system, establish that system here, and it leaves beyond the administration. Any other administration that comes in sees the value that Dell has brought to the table. So that's what we will do. So I'd like to also take this opportunity to mention the fact that we're not just selling new laptops. We have had extensive conversation with the Commissioner for Education around curriculum. You can't just put educative system on the laptops and it doesn't make sense to them, to the students. So we will load the curriculum, the state has a curriculum, it has subjects and all that. So we will load content on the laptop from the factory so that when the system gets to you, when you open it up, you are looking at the subjects that integrated science, biology, chemistry, whatever subject it is that you're doing. So those are things, discussions that we have had with the Commissioner for Education last year. So these are the value we're putting to the table. We don't want some people to come and sell and go. That's not my intention to sell. I'm from Akwa Ibom, where I was born and raised in Anambra State. That man people. So I don't know. So I reported on we read the woman overall, more let's see how you are. Or never say, at least who is the woman who baby. So somewhere goes where you have that way to say, I don't know.
Thank you so much. Very good. Thank you. So, Mr. Banks, how do you procure? What's your plan for people procurement?
Okay. Well, procurement initiative, starts from either the Minister of Basic Education or the consultant, because there's a consultant that must actually work in hand with them to know the actual devices they want at the regular point in time. So when that is communicated to Post, what we do is to actually, push that to our OEM. These are the needs of the students at that point in time, which they will return actually advise us on what to do. Like we said, we have a such PC for those in students, so that will actually be used to be able to achieve that. And everybody, the level of students, not like we said, those in pre-nursery or preschool or reception and that of year 1, year 2, and other. So that depends on the class level based on classifications. Will determine the advice we may give in terms of the actual PC to purchase. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Magus. Do we still have Dr. Larry online?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to mention two
Larry.
where we have looked at. One, once again, is the financing, and then the second one is the after sales support.
Okay.
So we realize that it's a big serious for Nigeria.
It's support across the branch of studies. So we have to support the units, whereby if there is any issue with the particular student laptop, such will be considered to us to be busy getting done. So
as well as that Nigerian
okay.
The product and take it and own it over a period of 3 years. Or you can decide that what you want to do is to release that product. Now, what happens at the end of 3 years is you're giving a newer model of that product to continue your use. Okay, so before that option, the second thing I want to mention is in the area of support. Okay, so we realize that after you buy these devices, there will be time when others fails on the device, there will be time when the device falls down, there will be time when it's technology, so there will be times when certain things happen. What we've also done is to ensure so all laptops come with a minimum of 1 year warranty. That means if anything happens to the laptop within 1 year warranty, within the 1 year warranty period, I think said that, and the affected parts will be replaced free of charge. What we've done for the Christian laptop is to extend the warranty period. In some cases for as long as 3 years, in some cases for as long as 4 years, so that if anything happens in that period, you'll be able to get it. Replacement from the services. If you want more than just like around like people I said earlier about education business. The ones that I see you can see doing the world also doing and that are thinking about.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How like that?
Okay, this is just going to be a morning. So we have a community that tries to see each year, and what we want to do is we want to ensure that 800 million people by the year 2025 have better than that includes students, that includes teachers, that includes some facilities, parents, and money interact with their children. So for us, it is not about how much money we need from the for that said to earlier, and you can see that for us, things around community project, things around social capital. We believe that if you do good for people, you will naturally make money, and that's our process towards education. Because for a large number of education solutions that we have something else called PhD classes, which is very permanent system, like central truth in the last course, so that easily can interact with teacher and interact with school and the guy.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Larry. Thank you so much.
Just need some form of training, and in several areas, we know this is where charge. Okay, we go digitally like advanced program. Because the first time I have done all this, subsidized that I have done the whole teacher student. So that they would have able by food. By some go on and on, like I said, any of us who read that already programs that are so very much I would especially extra minutes.
Okay. Yes, I know.
I just wanted to make a contribution to what I have, or to add some things to what I said. One of the things that we will do for the state, I don't know if the students have heard anything about Ubuntu. Ubuntu, it's called Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a free operating system. It has subjects like the Ubuntu education system has subjects like biology, chemistry, physics, name it. All those are free. So on top of that, we would load labs for. I forgot to mention it earlier. That was part of the things we had discussed with the Honorable Commissioner. We would load Ubuntu. It's free. So it enables the students to also connect with other students in the Western world. If you have problems, you learn Ubuntu is Linux. It's free operating system. So you can connect and make friends and then go into development. It also has biology, like I said, you use that on top of the curriculum that will be loaded on the system. So I forgot to mention that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moore. Thank you. So for want of time, in 30 seconds, do we have any final words? Dr. Larry, any final words?
Only from here, I just want to thank everybody for this opportunity and giving us the opportunity to present and listen to us. I just want to say, always have that back of the mind that there's a company that thinks beyond money when it comes to education. Our dream, our drive is legislation and more people access.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
It's a privilege to be here. Like I said earlier, I feel I'm at home because I was born and raised here. For me, is to ensure that I get these young students that I'm seeing in front of me to get the best of devices that they can get from Dell. As I mentioned earlier, Dell has an enormous program, school program, education programs for students. And I would like to share that with the appropriate authorities, the URL or websites where students can go and read about them, find out about them and all that. And lastly, we should consider in any technology decision that you want to take, who has the best interest at heart, who puts the support on ground for you, who enables you to create wealth, who teaches you and enables you to be readily available for the international market. I've been opportune to work for different multinational companies. I worked for HP. I was the managing director of HP for 7 years. I worked for them 11 years. I worked for IBM. I worked for Microsoft. I worked for a company called Philips. It's a Dutch company. So I'm saying this because these young students I'm seeing in front of me, the sky is your limit. Once you get the devices, please use what those devices are for. Nobody will be there to, start monitoring the usage and all that. It's for you to develop yourself, and like I said, who stops you from being the next MD of Dell? It's possible. So thank you, and I wish you luck as you progress in your education.
Thank you so much. You should clap. Thank you so much, Mr. Matt.
Thank you. My own is the advice to the students. Throughout days in academic field or maybe in basic education, so we are not opportune, to actually be mention some of PC, personal PC, the students owning a laptop to be able to, enhance his or her academic pursuit. So in this case, it's a very rare privilege and opportunity given to you by the state government and through the Minister of Basic Education. So you should not, throw it away. Train this consciously when the skills start running. If you own your laptop, make big use of it because knowledge is on digital. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We say big thank you to all our panelists. Mr. Umar, representative for Dell, Mr. Magnus, representative for Costaris, and Dr. Larry that joined us virtually. Thank you so much. We've heard it from the horse's mouth. I'm not calling them first, but then we've heard it from their mouths. These opportunities, these things are made available. Let's not waste them. And they are affordable. They are accessible. Thank you so much, Mrs. Chinwe. Thank you, all the organizers of this great summit. Was it not impactful? Has it not been impactful? Are we upgraded? Let's go ahead and put our hands together for the organizers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So let's make our Kumara to Mrs. Hope Ezan.
Thank you very much. Please, I beg to stand on established protocols. I am Ezan Hope, principal of Community College. Thank you. I am going to report on the two panel sessions just concluded. The first one was our one student, one laptop. They handled instance like the panelists handled the following topics under that topic, subtopics. First of all, the meaning of one student, one laptop. Today, it means not just giving a laptop to a student, but to make sure that students make proper use of the laptop. We know that the essence of this program is to bridge the gap between students, the digital gap between students in the rural areas and students in urban areas. And not just that, to bridge the gap between the poor and the rich. So, making sure the students have a laptop and make good and positive use of the laptop. Then the second thing they handled was the importance of one student, one laptop. It's very important because the world has gone digital. And if it is not done, the world will go before us and will be left behind. So since everything has gone digital, it's important that students should be provided with laptops so that they can go on or take the lead. Then is it possible to achieve this vision of one student, one laptop? Yes, it is, because it has been started. There are many philanthropies that have adopted some skills and have provided a reasonable number of laptops. The president and previous government of Anambra State have also done that. The next one is, if we achieve the vision of one student, one laptop, what will Anambra education system look like in the future? Simply, we will have a smart education system with smart teachers and smart students who can interact or fit in the counterpart anywhere in the world. Bearing in mind that our the present governor of Anambra State has vowed to give students Anambra a globally competitive education. So if we could provide each student, each learner with one laptop, it means that we are achieving that. And the incoming governor has in mind to give us a productive education that make Anambra students and our Anambra learners not just productive but relevant, exportable, people that can be of use anywhere in the world. Then the next thing they handle is, if it is so that provision of one student, one laptop is a laudable exercise, how can we do it? Number one, we'll not just give it to the government. Philanthropists are coming. President generals can involve the wealthy people in their areas. Organizations like Rotary and non-government organizations can come in. Also, parents who are wealthy enough can come in. They can provide for their children and also help the schools in providing for others. Then the last panel talked about digital devices, accessibility and affordability. In other words, how can we get this? Is it easy to get these laptops? If it is easy to get them, what is the price range? Bearing in mind that we want to bridge the digital divide. So from there, the first thing they handled was, are these digital devices useful? What are the uses of these digital devices? Then they told us, or we learned from them, that digital devices are very useful because they give the students and the teachers opportunity to interact, not just within themselves, but with people, other scholars, other learners, and other teachers through all over the world. That is, it gives them internet connectivity. Then the companies that we are discussing, these companies, they came, it's like they were trying to sell themselves. They were asked the unique things they were bringing on the board. Why, when you want to go to market as a consumer, the wise consumer, there's always a reason why you buy something. So they were asked, why should it be Dell? Why should it be God's? Or why should it be HP? So together we discovered that all of them agree that they always make their products bearing in mind the need of the consumers. That is, the people that make use of the product. What actually are the needs? This time around is an educational consumers, the people that are making the products for education. So they'll buy in mind customer perspective. That is the need. So they're not just making it for anybody, for the particular people that the products are meant for. Another thing is that they go for quality, that their products are qualitative. Bearing in mind that because these laptops or these devices be handled by children, and children are prone to carelessness, and these things may fall. So they want to reduce the incidence of these laptops falling easily. They also take into consideration the regions people come from. Bearing in mind that some regions like here, we have very harsh weather. So they make these products having a region or a climate in mind, so that they don't make things that will not last in our climate. Then the next thing they handle, and when they finish with this, then they talked about financing this product. Everything was, when you talk about accessibility and affordability, you're talking about money. Okay, they were asked if these products are willing to reach of both the poor, the middle class, and the rich. Then I said yes, because when preparing or making educational laptops, they bear in mind it's all about education. It's not just business as usual, so they are relatively cheaper than other lab jobs. So what it means is that they give it at affordable prices. Then what of finances? Do they have is there any way they can finance the project of one student, one laptop? Because it's a capital-intensive project. The states, the philanthropists, the organization will be able to handle it. What do they have? Can they offer any financial help? Dell in particular stage, they can link the government with financial organizations. Then coming to special packages to have, Dell, number one, I said that they can link the government to financial houses. Then they can also, when they are making this programs for us, they take our curriculum into consideration. They make especially laptops that have our curriculum, so that once you open it up, you just go straight, you see a curriculum. The other thing is that they upload an educational program onto free of charge, which allow the students to interact with their counterparts all over the world. Then for HP said that they will allow us about 3 to 4 years warranty as against the normal 1 year they allow, implying that if these laptops are purchased from them, if they spoil within the space of 3 years to 4 years, they will replace them free of charge. Then, Costaris of us offered the same thing. So what actually we are taking home from all this is that these laptops are affordable and accessible because we have companies that are willing to go in partnership with the government and to reduce the costs of this. And of course, we know we're talking about costs, but it's not really the money cost that is important. When you're talking about the cost of something, you consider what you're going to get from there. So there's no saying the fact that digitalizing education is the end thing. And for my teachers, my co-teachers here, I know some of us are analog because nobody taught us. But it's very important that we should keep in because digitalizing education is like a moving train. I know one thing with a moving train is either you have 3 options. Either you join the moving train, or you stay by the side, or you stay in the way of the moving train. If you stay by the side, the train will move you, you'll be left behind. In other words, you're there, you're not there. If you decide to stand in the way of the moving train, you'll be a casualty, the train will kill you. But if you join the train will carry you along. So in other words, please not mind it, get down, a good teacher must be a good learner. Any teacher here in Anambra State that has not started learning computer is not a good teacher. Because you find it difficult to learn. How do you expect your students to learn? Please, let's not stay by the side. Because if the train moves away from us, leaves us behind, we will become what? Irrelevant teachers. I remember the Honorable Commissioner for Basic Education said this morning, as she had said earlier on, that very soon digital teachers will replace analog teachers. I want to be a digital teacher. I don't know of you. Thank you, IDK. Thank you, Ministry of Education. And thank you, Governor of Anambra State. Thank you, and God bless all of us. In Jesus' name.
Thank you so much. This round of applause again for everyone. This will be going for a very short break so we can refresh, relax, and after we get the closing remarks from the chairperson of the Central Planning Committee, and then we can call it a day. God bless you.
still here. Thank you so much. We're not clapping now because everybody's hands are very busy. I believe that you're getting your refreshment and it's just in time because I believe a lot of us are famished already. But this session is really important. And that is why we must take feedback and contribution from the students. All the while, students have not been on stage. But this time, we want to open it up. Please, can we do this quietly? Let's not have noise in the hall. Thank you for the decorum. So we have a microphone. It will be going around the hall as we interact with the students. Remember, this is still the Anambra State Education Digitalization Summit. And this summit is being hosted by the Anambra State Ministry of Basic Education in partnership with IDK and Innovative Africa. So, students, are you still here? Are you ready to talk to me? Okay. I believe that as you eat, maybe when you're done, if you really want to contribute, you can write down what you want to say, but we have to start up. Now, we started with talking about digitalization, the digital transformation of teaching and learning. And then we went to talk about the provision of devices, that is, availability of these devices. And then access to these devices. Do you even have access to them? Then we talked about one student, one laptop. We talked about getting internet connectivity. How easy is it? How affordable are these devices? How affordable is internet connectivity? So all of these challenges we have spotlighted and people have said a lot about them. Now I want one or two students to come to the front and share with us in brief what you're taking away from this summit. If you want to share with me, all you need to do is to just lift a finger. I'll invite you and you have the microphone to share what you're taking away, because you are ambassadors from your schools. You go back to share with other students what you learned. That's why you're here in the first place. So what are you going to tell them when you get back to school? Can I see a finger? Anyone can help me? You spot a finger in the air, please call my attention. What will you tell them when you go back? I see a finger at the extreme. Please come. And I see another one here. Please come. Do I see another? When you come to, please come. Just say good afternoon. It's already afternoon. Your name, school, and then you cut to the chase.
My name is Osama. What I learned today was about the team basketball. I learned that when we students get the laptop, you also need to have the knowledge about the laptop. You also need to know that. You also need to know how to handle the laptop, how to access the laptop, and how to make sure that you make good use of the laptop, not going otherwise. Also learned about
otherwise, let's understand. What do you mean by otherwise?
Misuse of the laptop.
What constitutes misuse in this sense, based on what you've observed from some of your mates?
Like going to some pornographic sites, watching pornographic movies, going into clothing activities.
Fraud. Yeah. Or watching things about ritual killings. Does that also happen? Yeah? People that told you to go and do the wrong things. And then also possibly going into all this, I'm not saying it's wrong, but now is not the time for you to start trading maybe crypto and forex. It's time for you to study first. That time will come. Okay, continue.
Also learned about the availability and accessibility of the digital device. What the said today was really encouraging. Most people find it hard to buy laptops for their children, but with the word they said today, we find it that most of the laptops in the market are not cheap, affordable, but both the poor and the middle class. Thank you.
Wow, thanks. Thank you. Wow. I'm not so particular about because people are eating, but if you can clap, please clap.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Miss Okoyade. I'm from Mara Ejinomoye Comprehensive Secondary School here. Just guess what I was what I learned from the lesson of I learned that technology, once we have not been taught how this program is here for. Technology is important in our everyday life. And the fact we are encouraged that governments are working on providing laptops for students. And I also think that when the laptop is making us, we should make proper use of it. Like this session now, like maybe if we are doing lecture in class, where we don't learn about we don't better lesson very well. We have the access to go to the internet and browse more and read further to get ahead decision. Or we should also go to the laptop to know everything about maybe the class after being teaching about some things happening in the world. You can have the access to computer. Go through
decorum in the hall, please. Decorum, please.
you can have the access to go through it and search for other things that happen in the world. Maybe you can also use laptops, not things that are happening in the world. Not only for you cannot only use like laptops for watching movies.
Okay, thank you. Teachers, I want you to do something for me. I want you to line up children, one person from each school here. I will have to interact with them. Everybody has to say something. All the schools will have to be represented. One round name and open a stage for each. So if your school is here, it's very important for you to be captured here. Or who needs to bring out a child on the eye as widely as possible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now let's talk about what you had yesterday. Okay, today. We're talking about one student, one laptop, but somebody said it doesn't have to be a laptop. Can you explain that to us?
If I understand the question well, the question is asking,
can we have decorum? Let's be sure that our children can take the right decision.
the person is asking, must the digital device be a laptop? My answer is no.
Somebody talked about it, so just tell us what's your own perspective.
It must not be a laptop because first we have to talk about the affordability and there are some people who cannot handle a laptop. So if you can do with a smartphone, because
if you can do with a smartphone. I think tell us your name, your school before you leave.
My name is Cecilia Uchinaso, secondary school.
Okay, let's give her a round. Yeah, thank you. Please, when I ask you any question, just say your name and your school before you. Okay, I want somebody else to give me another perspective of what I asked her.
My name is it's not only laptop you can take, so still have easy ones like your smartphone and or a little laptop you can make you.
Why not a laptop necessarily? Sure, she talked about costs, but there are other factors, don't you think?
Okay. It's not most important. The laptop is the you must not carry a laptop around because your laptop you can go around your school room and handle it when you're in school, but your laptop may not fit in school and at home.
Okay. Let's also get your thoughts. So let's make this as light as possible. We're just conversing, okay? It's a friendly note. Thank you.
My name is Christina and I'm from National. Talking about that, if you don't afford it, my name is not then you can connect because they're likely different. What laptop are you? Smartphone. So when you have the smartphone, you can also connect whatever someone has now. So you don't have, if you can't afford that at all, you can't do anything, but you just buy a smartphone to make your world.
Okay, thank you. The next person, can you speak to, let's move away from this costing, please. Can you speak to the fact that having a lot of books is already, some people develop hunchback. Commissioner talked about hair rather. So what can the mobile device do differently for students in this era, students like you?
Thank you, my name is Congo Chima from Coming. No, laptop. She talked about cell phones, but everybody in school already have computer labs. So I prefer that the laptop, and the thing that is affordable at the price is low, and the school can afford the price. If it's a standard school that have computer lab, wow, they can afford the price for the student. And they can open some platforms because they talked about the platform that has, like you can educate yourself. Like they talked about biology, chemistry, and physics. So you don't have to create the whole system around because everything is put down somewhere inside the laptop.
Okay, I don't know if you're seeing what's going on here, but we have the brightest children, students in Anambra. I don't know if you're seeing it. Don't they deserve a big round of applause? Thank you. Okay, now let us talk about self-regulation because the concern a lot of parents have why they don't do this is because they don't trust students, young people to know the right thing. Is it that you people don't know the right thing to do, or or I don't want to generalize here, that some students that they don't have the sense of what is right or wrong? What is the problem?
My name is Juan Ogwe from Kandi International College. Okay, I believe that the world has gone into a new era and we are in modern time of technology. So I believe that due to the phones and the laptop, the parents don't think that we are capable of handling due to what's happening on social media, pornography, sex, all that. So when we students get, and another reason is addiction to the phone or to that technological device that you have. If you get addicted to it, you won't maybe focus on your studies, you get more likely to be games and other stuff with your computer or your phone. So I believe that parents should, take more time in monitoring the students, what they do, or they have a specific time or day where they call their parents to ask or to check their phones, what they have installed there, what they do, videos and all of that.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me also get your thoughts on that.
My name is Obra Chikon, and from the thought I think everybody just got to have a sense of reason. Everybody has the sense to detect what is wrong and right. And our parents, they are sometimes afraid because of some of the disadvantages that students are faced whenever they go to social media. So some of those students, everybody has the right and wrong aspect of social media. But some are pushing by peer pressure because some of the students go from a Christian or holy background because of the environment which they have or the friends they have. The friends may be the type that watch all the pornography in the social media.
So I get the sense that the technology is not the problem. The technology is a social problem.
Social problem.
Yeah, because if the society is better, technology naturally will be used the right way. So the society that we live in is what the children are saying is the problem. Thank you. Next person. How do you think we can begin to even solve some of the social issues? Is it by shielding the children from them? Is that the way?
My name is Monica Bachi Process. I'm a professor of commerce. My own understanding, it's not the way in order to shield children from digital devices. That the parents have to check in their children.
Parents checking the phones. I don't get all that things because the same parents check the phones. Sometimes parents don't even know how to check. I want us to be more practical. If you say parents should check it, is there anything they need to read for them to know what to check? Or can you tell them, check this on the phone, check that on the phone, because you know how to navigate phones better. So be more practical.
Some parents are not, some of parents that don't know how they have the house. So they have to be calling them, like they have sometimes if they are free, they might call their children closer and be asking them what type of house you have, or to ask them to open it in order for them to see everything that is in. Because these pornography movies, students used to hide it in calculators in order for
Hide what?
pornography films. 1 hour, they used to hide it there in order for the parents not to help to see it.
Okay, hold on, they hide pornography inside calculator. Please let me understand. Because this one is new. Then, what can you
From other parts, they will put it in calculator.
okay, the file is oh, they will just change the location.
Yes, in order for the parents, after this, they might not see the things there. They change it to calculator. So the parents have to call the children closer in order for them to
Or even rename the file.
or name the file.
Wow.
In order for them to open all the apps in order the parents to check whether they are reading or they are listening.
Thank you. Are we learning? I believe they are telling us a lot. Yeah. And now tell me about peer pressure. We heard about the boy who died, who was killed by his schoolmates in Lagos. You know, all of those things. I tell you that sometimes before those things happen, children would have been communicating via chat. Even again. So if somebody had been following up on some of those, I think maybe that would have been prevented. So talk about peer pressure and how that could affect how students use their digital devices.
So my name is Anambra. The name of my school is Business Administration. How it can affect them is that when you put your mind into those things, those watching pornography and morality skills, it can affect children through lack of education, like reading your book, and not concentrating on what the teacher is teaching you, and other things. And to avoid this, like me, I have a laptop at home, I use it to search up the phone. So after using it, I give it to my mom because it's school. I do use it. So I always when I assignment in school, I go home. So difficulties which I can do, I research it. So after using it, I give it to my mom. I love it and all that. Because you allow me to use it. All that is bring a more. So how it affects this.
I think somebody else can take that. I'm also watching the time. Thank you. And please try to make your rendition as short as possible because we need to end this. Thank you. The same. Peer pressure. Yes. Who are the peers? What do they discuss? And how can that affect phone device use?
Okay, yes. The peers are young, like teenagers. They are the peers, and how it can affect those students of our days and how it can lead them to all the social rights and peer pressure. This because laptops we were talking about, it causes a lot of things if you use them. And how it causes this peer pressure thing, and instead that boy is died, right? But boy, really he has this friend who misled him in a bad way. And he used his laptop in a bad way that he saw some things in it and died of it. So this peer pressure we're talking about, we need to parents, so parents need to look into their children very well. We need to make sure that our children do not go into social activity. And finally, one of the partners said that how you can treat this social rights in our lives. They need to go straight to the people that are capturing this area.
And the manufacturer is already committed to doing the right thing. Next person. When I say peer pressure, let me guide you. Your friends will determine how you use your phone. You people will be sharing apps, sharing this, sharing that. The same thing you would have done physically, you are taking it to the online space. So how would that also impact how you use your digital devices?
Negatively or positive?
You tell us.
Okay, negatively is an ideal version. Let's say you're in school and all you can think of is how to get out of school and become an Instagram star to be a top 1 year. So sometimes when it's not curtailed, when it's the effect upon us is not simply put to the right path, we the students get to deviate from what the app has in store for us.
Students your age are easily distracted.
Yes.
Okay, next. Still speak about peer pressure, peer pressure. How can your peers? It's opinion. Wow. Good afternoon.
My name is Anambra.
From what school?
I am a student in Odaza Memorial Primary School.
Thank you, then. Thanks for coming on stage. All right? Okay, that's nothing to say.
Talking about this device. The device can be carried out and is also educative both for secondary and primary schools.
Wow. Maybe because we sidelined them since. No, we did not. Thank you. So we should not forget those in basic school. Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Good afternoon, now. It's for Nigeria. I'm in the beginning of the school. Now, this peer means those who may be of the age or of the same age. Now, they may contribute negatively or positively to your well-being. Now, negative.
Phone use, limited to phone use. We don't have time.
Now, negatively, this phone use can cause a lot of harm. Students of nowadays.
When you have a phone, please those people who joined, can you go back? Look at that. Thank you. Thank you. When you have a phone and your friend does not, is there this push? I must buy a phone. I must get a phone by hook or crook. Is there that mentality among?
Yes, there is such mentality.
That's the peer pressure.
Yes, to feel like belonging.
Okay. Yeah. So what does that lead students into if not checked? What are the tendencies?
It may lead them to engaging in various vices like stealing and practicing every sort of evils just to make themselves avoid information.
Thank you. Next person. In case somebody here or somebody who's watching us desperately needs the device, and possibly the ones people donate to the ministry does not get to the person, and there are no philanthropists to provide. Are there avenues for students to legitimately, genuinely get digital devices?
Central Anambra Secondary School get these devices by telling their parents. They have to tell them that if they are able to get these devices, they might move forward in their academics or studies by searching onto the internet or Google for what you don't know. If given an assignment and need to research on the phone. And use this, you must put your effort in order so that your parents might see that you're putting your effort and this thing is making out a good or positive reaction.
It speaks of effort. What comes to your mind? Next person. Thanks. When you say you must put your own effort, it's not just about your parents bringing out money and buying. What do you think the student can do to facilitate, getting an advance?
My name is Mr. Shalom from Secondary School.
Very deep voice. Please go ahead.
Say, Mr. Shalom from Secondary School. Every student should put in order to bring himself into the digitalized organization, into the digitalized community. He or she must, first of all, bring up the spirit in him, try to convince his or her parents that he, when the laptop or the digital devices are being released to him, that he's gonna make a good effort, he's gonna make a good use of it, not using it to commit cyber crimes, not using it to watch pornographic movies, videos, and the rest. Thank you.
Thank you. Has to convince the parents. What other efforts? Please, let's be more practical. What if you were this Eze that wanted to go to school and there is no means, and hence there's still hope to get a device. Second, what effort?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anambra and I'm from Fully Public Comprehensive Secondary School, teacher. Basically, on what she said is like those people in rural areas that cannot afford to get this. When you try your optimum, like when you, let me say, just like students in all these government schools, like when you try your effort, you read hard, you make your maybe once, maybe like let me say the governor is coming to your school to organize an examination, you try your efforts, you can still win like let's say scholarship from there, you can get the device, and once you get the device, you have to try your optimum to
Okay, through academic performance, excellent academic performance, that's also possible. Let's get your thoughts as well. If you have any perspective of this, you will also include what effort a student can make as a person to legitimately get a phone. Also, you can give us an idea of, the idea of what you got, your impression of this summit, please.
My name is Anambra. I'm from Seattle. According to what you asked, a student who do not have any sort of income, who do not have parents who are rich who should not have been buy the students can through hard work and academic performance. Maybe somebody can just see the students and see how he or
From that, saying the same thing that I said. There are lots of other factors. Anybody have, do you have any other idea? Okay, let me have your thoughts. Thank you, yes, thanks. Please start.
If you go back, let's hear her.
Okay, okay.
Let's hear her. Tell us what you think.
Okay, what she thinks, okay. Why not? Go ahead.
okay, according to what I was saying, the students can through hard work and academic performance. The students can also read his or textbook, do the necessary things he or she needs to do. Somebody might just see the person how he or she is trying. I know that truly when this person is giving this opportunity, that he or she can utilize it very well and probably do it for him.
Okay, great. That's related to the other. Let me have something different, okay?
Good afternoon. My name is Privilege. I'm from Girls Secondary School. So, when we don't have the laptop, we have the urge. Like, you want this thing, you can go through your notes, and when you need to browse it, you can go to your computer now. The laptop must not go down the student. Like, you can go to your computer now, make use of your computer. That's the essence of having a computer lab in the school. So that will go a long way in making it efficient.
Okay, all right. The next two persons also speak about this because if you have anything to add, any suggestion you have to give to students who really need devices but they can't get one. Or you can talk about your impression of this one.
About the peer groups. Yes, some of my students is because peer groups, some of the students will have an interest of trying their best, putting all their effort in order to make sure that their education goes well. But some the peer groups might come and interfere in their matters. For example, that person wants to take first in school. That person will be working hard, maybe at home, students will come and interfere and say, hey, I have something. For example, now, the person will come and
Summarize it.
It might help the students go a long way and to help us to research more.
Okay, thank you. And last but not the least,
about my name is Shave. I'm from CSS. I want to talk about one student. Like as a student, you need a laptop to browse and to do a research market and about all the things that we have got as a student. And for students, they need some, like they have course to learn something about the digital, about the laptop. Like as a student, they have course to learn about website. They learn how to create a website. And as a student, like in our school, we have to be doing projects. They will teach us about all the things we have got.
Okay, finally, yes, somebody wants to answer the question. Yes, well, I think, okay, after this, we'll have a photo session with all the students, so please get ready.
Good afternoon. I'm from Convent of Seminary. If I am a student and I don't have any other means, I think I'll deny myself some things. I get pocket money from my parents. I can deny myself buying biscuits. Apart from denying myself some things that are not necessary to get the money, I can do menial jobs during holidays. Something that is very responsible, works that are very responsible. I think I will get paid and I will save those money and get that laptop. I can help in farm work. I can help in cleaning house. In doing all these things, I can get money and save money. Since those laptops are affordable, I can get that and pay to it and thank you.
I think you're not able to get the complete amount. When you have something, it's possible that you mentioned, oh, and somebody else, maybe your parents, can even say, let me now add the rest for you. I quite agree with that. And then for those who talked about the root of academic performance, preparedness meets with opportunity for success to happen. You can start now because you know that the next thing, people who are coming to the schools to eat things, okay, somebody may have come before to build a classroom block, but this time they will be coming to eat digital tools, devices, and it will be given first to those who are doing well. So this is expo. If you really want one, start working hard. Start studying well. Because indeed, Anambra will respond to this PRO call. I will have a harvest of lots of mobile devices. Except if you're not ready to get it. If you're not ready, you won't get it. But if you're ready, you know you will get it. Thank you.
Wow, can we put Thank you very much, children. What she said last, there was a man that was supposed to be part of the discussion. He told us that his own idea about one laptop project is that only students who do very well, who already show, desire for academic performance, that are serious, they are, these are the people that you suggest that will get laptops. So what she's saying is very, very important. Like in IDK, when we're doing our spelling bee competitions, we give out laptops. That's what we give out. And most competitions now is laptops they give out. They only give them to those who have performed very well, right? So what are we saying in essence? We should, this digital age, you must buckle up to be very committed to your study. I used to tell my children that the only business you have as a student is the business of studying. You don't have any other business. I don't see why a student should not do that. You have guidance counselors in school. If you have something disturbing you in school, now you are even having safeguards, which they are bringing to schools, especially in primary schools. You have something disturbing you. You have somebody to talk to. Apart from that, you are only business of study and nothing more. Right? And that way you can even end this competition. If you see competitions coming up, guys, study very hard. You might just say that Anambra State will soon celebrate our egos, our pride. Students who have gone so many places for competitions that they have won, they are going to get some tablets, some of them. That way they will never bother their parents again for laptops. I remember when we were going to school, like primary or that pre nursery, what everybody was carrying them was what? Slate. How many of you met slate? Did anybody, do you know what is slate? I mean the students. Students, do you know what is called slate? You know, who said you know? Who? I don't think any of you know what is slate. Every child going to school during our time was carry slate. That is what we used to write in the school with chalk. You never met it, but you can make what? Digital age. Which means every child going to school, by the grace of God, by what we are projecting now, should carry behind. So that's what we should be gearing towards. Our commitment was to show that there are some parents who don't give their children anything unless they have performed well. So the sky is your limit. We thank you for coming. But I have a question for you. Well, these things will help us in our reports. You heard Oscaris, you heard Dell, you heard Timothy. Of all these, can somebody remember the products they presented? Did anyone strike you? I need the student to say, students, did anyone strike you? You think, this is so good. This is what we should have. Or you were not listening? You can't remember. Did anyone strike you? Yeah, teacher, did anyone strike you? Which one? See what? The ideal up. Okay, the one, the that one is mostly for teachers. They can use it to, I mean, when students are using their personal computers, they can now use that whatever they are teaching. Yeah, my attention to. Any other one for personal computer? I like that because one of their services is that they will build, like acquisition center where they can train our students to be able to service their products. But one thing is to bring, if they go and they spoil, maintaining them is very, very difficult. So if they can even come to build something like use a service center where they will train students that will carry on from them to maintain these laptops when if they decide to do business with them. So students, I thought you had them. Yeah, but you have good teachers. So once again, we want to actually have our. It's been a long day. We thank all of you, especially the teachers that brought the students. Mike, a lot of you have, you see these students, the interaction we have now, they are going to play in the YouTube. The YouTube you have used for this program, the YouTube, the Facebook. He's going to put it up. So you can copy it. You go there, you can see yourself. Send to your friends, you subscribe it, you like it. If it's YouTube, you subscribe. If it's Facebook, you like, you share to your friends so that they will see you. And also they keep sharing. Tell them to try and subscribe. That's the YouTube. What about Facebook? Don't remove this, include Facebook there. So we want to call on, after that, we will not take pictures with the students that are here and their teachers. We want to have a closing remarks. Where is Stella? Stella is, Esemwe. Please, can somebody call Stella? Please, it's from our student. Stella, please come and give us the closing remarks.
Are you sure she's still around? Are you sure she's still around?
Stella is representing any question, please, because we are about to close. Once we take the closing remarks, we do our closing prayer, and then we take pictures. Who has anything to say? Anyone, giving people chance, even a teacher, a student, do you have anything more to say? Yeah. This Stella, she's giving us. Please, we have the pleasure to invite the Director of Academic Services, Anambra State Universal Basic Education, to represent her chairman, Dr. Mrs. Franca Ego Obi. So we have the honor and privilege to invite the Director of Academic Services, Mrs. Stella Ezebo, to give us the closing remarks.
Hello. Hi. Are you happy? If you're happy, do something for Jesus. Yes, I'm glad to present my executive chairman, Dr. Ego Obi. In the first instance, I have to appreciate our God. Say, our God, thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
It was without God when we started it. We didn't know it would end like this. Holy Spirit is our great friend. And whenever you call, you are in trouble, and you call you Holy Spirit, is there to go. That's the greatest friend we have. Is it not? So, in short, I don't know where to start. We didn't know it would end in praise. I have to give honor to God, the Almighty God, in Jesus' name. Then at the same time, I have to thank our child-friendly government for the moral aspect, all the support. Then Professor who is always there to move education, bringing different ideas. He made the a success. Then I will not fail to remember the ITK. I normally call her Professor, full of ideas, very intelligent. May God bless you. May God bless you for coordinating and organizing the Anambra State Digitalization Summit. It's a great summit, and people are happy. People are happy. I myself am happy with you. May God bless you. The Reverend there, you're welcome. We appreciate you. You were all here yesterday, and today you are here, showing you have interest on us to move Anambra forward and also digitalize our education system. My teachers, the teachers here, or teachers, are you there? Teachers are great. If you can write your name, if you cannot, and that's why you're here. Then our children, students and pupils, then you're welcome. May God bless you for coming. May God bless you all for coming in Jesus' name. Then the committee members are wonderful. Are one of them. Morning, night, afternoon, we are here to make sure that everything was done in the right way. And God, with the help of God and Holy Spirit, we succeeded today. Say amen. So I'm asking you, pleading, advising
that the aim of this summit will be achieved. And we can't do that without our teachers. We can't do that without the education stakeholders, of which the reverends there are one of them, then the students. So we pray that Almighty God will help us to achieve the aim of this summit. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Thank you so much for listening, and may God bless you. Bye. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, God bless you. Please have a mother. A child said, please, can I say something? I said, okay, you say my child. Come. Please, talk.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anambra from Day2 International College. I want to ask, a mom told me that why is every time we are always going to internet, why we have a textbook, a book that give us answers to our own way. Why is all the time we are always going to internet to go our own way, but there's a textbook here to give us the answers?
Thank you. One answer to that. Can somebody tell him if I can say something? I think, okay, the textbooks are there. We will still not ever discard the textbooks. But why the website, you have sites where you can browse. It's important because you will have wide varieties of ideas from different people. A textbook is just coming from one author, right? As if you are giving an assignment, because somebody just said you want assignment, they normally give you. Yeah? Maths. What's maths? Any assignment, tell me something, not really maths, not classical. Anything. Assignment, they normally ask you to go.
English.
They might give you essay to prepare. You have the test. That textbook is written by one person, right? And that one person has just given you his or her own ideas. Just a tip of it. But if you have access to the internet, you can browse. What type like essay may be the best way, right? You may not even know the right books. Maybe the essay is the best student. A textbook can only give you just very tip of the iceberg on what the president can be. Then if you go to the internet and type, please tell me who is a best student or the best student, you have different ideas. Have you used the internet before? You don't have to use it. So many will drop. Click on this to give you some ideas. You do that. You click on another one, it gives you more ideas. By the time you check 5 or 3, put together, they have given you more than that textbook. So the internet enriches your work. It makes you see from different points of view. Then you begin to analyze them from your own point of view. Have you seen where the internet is? But the textbook is also good, but it's a bit limited. People are talking about e-library, that you can connect you to everywhere in the world. You can stay here now, your teacher can be here. When we did take and teach, right? From your classroom, you can take somebody to zoo in California. You will see the different animals they have. Yes, internet can do that, textbook cannot. So there are so many advantages of it. So you can tell your mom that you want me to be the best one, yeah? Best medical IT specialist. Facebook can only give me what? More idea. But the internet, so much information, then I'll take the best. Okay? Good. Very big question. We thank you. We need to close now. We need to have our final prayer. Let's have our final prayers, please. Please. Closing prayer. Then we take this job with us.
This we want to pray. So I want to thank everybody for the answers of this program. I want to thank our governor, the governor-elect, and I'll call the education or command education in Anambra State. But really, Anambra State is the light of the nation. We'll continue to shine. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Father, we thank you. You are the author of all knowledge. You are the greatest of all the teachers. Thank you, O Lord, for these 2 days summit. Father, your people have gathered knowledge. Help us to wisely apply this knowledge, that we will continue to shine and to live out your knowledge in this planet. God, we thank you for Anambra State. We thank you for the people you have used, to bring people from all walks of life to teach us. Help us to grow and help our education to be sustained. God, as we go, we commit the road that we're going to go through because of the blood of Jesus. Lead us safely back. Every other little Father is in your hand. Glory and honor be to you. In the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. May we share in the grace. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. The love of God. The fellowship of the Holy Spirit. Be with us now and all age.
Please, I want all of you remaining to help and join to thank the members of this committee. They have been so wonderful. And Innovative Africa, the partner to this program, each and every one of us in the committee has put in our best. And we thank God for that. We pray that we will all get our rewards in one way or the other in Jesus' name. So please, those who want to take that, you capture it.
Okay.
Please, you can
Should we can use some for pictures? See, I go capture.